it with people as well. It's really, really cool.
So we're going to have some banter.
Let's hope so.
We'll try. Monique, thank you so much for coming on. I should be introducing people. I know with the podcast, I don't really introduce people. I kind of just leave it up to them. But, starting now, I want to introduce you as you're a multifaceted person, but I think most people obviously know you as an online coach, online trainer, health, fitness, and also karate champion, which I think is flipping cool. So welcome and thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, and also thank you for being patient. It's really exciting to finally be here.
It's understandable, don't worry.
Thanks. I'm
excited.
Of
course. So actually, I want to start off with karate because I actually just finished watching Cobra Kai, and I assume you've watched it. Maybe not.
Haven't.
Okay.
My heroes was literally my coaches, so I didn't really watch anything. My coach was just my idol in the sport.
Have you watched Karate Kid?
Yes, that I have watched.
Yeah, so this is basically them grown up.
Oh.
It's on Netflix.
Okay, then I have to watch it.
You have to. I promise you, it's probably the first season 3 or 4 years ago. I saw it then. I didn't try because I was like, you know what, they're not going to be able to make it as good as the original Karate Kid. Then I watched it and I was like, you know what, it's the weekend. I've watched 2 seasons already in one weekend.
Yeah,
and when series is that good, it grabs you and it grabs your attention. So how did you get into karate?
Funny story, when I was little, I used to live in Mozambique, and at the time my cousins did karate, and my parents were really busy at work, so her cousin had to pick me up from school, and I was stuck watching my cousins practice karate, going to their training, and I was just on the side. And the one session, they were short of one partner, so there was someone that didn't have a partner, so the coach looked at me and said, do you mind coming in, holding the bag for the person to throw some punches? Didn't think much of it. Okay, let me just hold the bag, and the trainer said, okay, switch. So the other person must hold the bag, and I just carried on holding it. And he said, no, swap, take a shot. And boy, when I threw that first punch, it was just... can't even remember the past anymore. It was love at first. I was 6 years old. Yeah, so I thought I was going to be a ballerina, didn't really know, but was actually a tomboy. I was confused. But that first punch, I remember it like it was the other day. But then everything else was a blur because I was just obsessed with the sport.
And I think karate, obviously, is not the conventional route. And I think that's what's so cool about it is... as you're saying, like ballerina, gymnastics, that kind of stuff is maybe conventional for younger girls to start with. And you did karate. Yeah. And you even went to world championships and stuff.
Yeah, I did. I think after that first punch, I think there was like a few weeks until the first competition in Mozambique. And my mom hadn't bought me a karate suit or anything because she wasn't sure. She was just ballet, bought everything, gave up within a week. I'm not going to commit to all the equipment just yet. On the day of the competition, my mom went and bought my first karate suit, and there was 2 sections with karate where you have the kumite, which is fighting, and the kata, where it's like a dance routine but with karate movements. And there I came first for that, and I came second in fighting because I was too scared to hit my cousin because we landed up being in the finals. But from then onwards, it was history. I entered all the competitions, won all of them, provided that my cousin wasn't in the finals, and then I got over that. Then I wasn't scared to hit her anymore, and I just wanted the goal. I just wanted to be the best. And I think what was also the driving force behind that is my uncles at the time also used to do karate when they were little, and that was just like in a connection. Like they were so proud because, uncles are usually around the sons and the nephews because they have something in common. But now it's like a girl, but she's really good at karate, and it was so cool that it was the same style. So it also became something for him. And my first world tournament landed up being in 2004. I had moved back to South Africa already then, and it happened to be in Cape Town, so South Africa was hosting it. And my uncle couldn't make it, but he was on the phone and my mom was there. I had no idea what this thing was. I arrived and it was just massive compared to your little essays or your national championships. And this was where I thought I was more of a kata person, but the first worlds I won fighting. I was first world champion at the age of 10, and my coach picked me up. I had no idea that I'd won. I was at the podium. There's photos of me. I was just so confused with a trophy half my size. And all I wanted to do was tell my uncle I did it. I bringing home the trophy for you. And sadly, a few years after that, he passed away, and I wanted to stay connected with him with that. And, sorry.
Don't worry, it's fine.
So having my mom part of it, because my mom has been there, she even started karate with me. It was really nice to have her support, but he was the reason why I carried on. And I just wanted to bring the gold for him. It was always do that to make him proud and just feel that he was still there, because his presence, I always felt it when I was in a karate suit and in a competition specifically. And then varsity came, and long story short, I found the gym, and being orange in a white karate suit, it didn't kind of fit in anymore. And I'd achieved all you could achieve in the sport. I'd been world champion a couple of times, and I wanted something more exciting, something exhilarating, and the gym found me, I found it, and I did the transition, yeah.
How, because obviously people say like competing is so difficult, but I mean, karate being a combat sport, completely different style of training. You personally, how do you find, obviously you say you transitioned, you went more into gym and everything, but was that because you were searching for more, karate wasn't difficult enough? Or obviously, or was it just maybe because you came to a point you're like, you know what, I want a different challenge. I want something else to set goals for.
I think karate taught me that drive and that discipline and that working so hard for something and reaping success from working so hard. And I just wanted more. I've always been a person that, you've reached the top. There's got to be more to achieve. And like I said, there was no more that I could achieve within the sport itself in terms of competitions, world champs. I wanted more, and I wanted to be a part of something that was a little bit more inclusive. Karate was a lonely sport, and so is bodybuilding and competing, but you still connected with different types of people. And I think from being in that sport for 13 years, I think I just wanted something different, and something that allowed me to connect a little bit more within myself, because like I mentioned, I was tomboyish and not girly at all, but I secretly loved the girliness that fitness competition came, especially on that specific day. I really enjoyed that. So I don't think I answered your question, actually.
That's right. But as you're saying, finding the girliness from competing and being a tomboy, I think that's actually perfect what competing is. I mean, technically, as society has painted the picture of lifting weights as being a manly thing, which is obviously the male aspect of being a tomboy, and then, looking pretty, doing your makeup, doing your hair and everything for stage is obviously, where it kind of combines, and then you can be the perfect tomboy, going on stage, looking beautiful, but then it's obviously kind of being a man in the gym.
No, I wouldn't say being a man.
Not a man,
yes,
but
yes,
I mean,
I get you.
Going against what society, because I mean, most girls think like you go to gym, you're going to look like a man.
No, yeah. I'm
so, the aspect of, doing a deadlift, that's why girls are scared to go into the weight section, because they think they'll be judged mainly by men. Other girls will judge them, or they think, they're going to see crazy results, which I wish was the case, because I think everyone would be happy if that was the case. 100%. So I think that's what's perfect about competing. And also what you were seeking for was that next level of discipline. And that's what karate is, discipline, gym, dieting, training, and all of that is discipline. And I mean, that's also what you've taken into business, and discipline through business and your business ethics. And that's also something I want to talk about, is your ethics. And, you can clearly see that you care about your clients. We were saying before how it's what you love. If there was no money involved, you'd still be doing it. Yeah. Helping people find it in themselves that they are capable. And I think that's also why you've kind of, you had a passion, you had a talent for gym and training, and, you had a passion for people, and you kind of brought them together to make a career out of it.
Yeah, but I also have my mom to thank me for that. She believed in me no matter what the dream was, whether it was karate, whether it was bodybuilding, whether it was academics. And she inspired me so much, that one person that can believe in you so much and just provide that support, just be there, just listen, I wanted to kind of be that person for other people. And I think that's also a huge part of how Monique Fit was born. I mean, even before that whole thing of it officially being a business, it was just answering people on Instagram. They would DM me because they were inspired by your journey, because I had no idea that this was what I was going to be doing. And just the fact that you gave someone a little bit of time and you just supported them, gave them that nudge, or just complimented them on their hard work or on their efforts, or just reminded them to just be patient, like my mom was doing to me. It was so incredible how that impacted that person's life and how they were actually able to achieve what they were doing. Not necessarily just because you believed in them, but someone did believe in them, and that enforced them to believe in themselves and just be patient and carry on working towards what they were working for.
I think also your dynamic with your mom is amazing, and you can see she's really invested in you, invested in your minions, invested in everything that you do, because I think it was eye candy when I competed last year in October, November, whenever it was. And it was at, what's that, in Pretoria, that church there where you did that fit, like there was a bunch of people, they all came in. It was like one of your live workouts with a bunch of people it was one of the churches in Pretoria, just off the off-ramp.
I don't even
I've
remember.
gone completely blank. You were there. It was towards the end of the year last year. It was probably one of the first live events.
Oh, yes. It was that FunFit Fest.
Yes.
Okay.
And you were there. And
yes, okay.
because backstage for the bodybuilding show, there was a massive curtain.
Oh, right.
And all of you guys were that side, and then the backstage and the competing and everything was the other side. And I looked through the curtain because I was like, what's going on? This music's cool. Like, what? There's such a vibe on that side.
You saw my mom, didn't you?
I saw your mom running around, taking photos of you and your minions, taking photos of you and everyone, taking videos, taking stories. And I thought, like, that is dedication to, firstly, the brand, but also that is love for the daughter.
That is 100% love. My mom, she just wants to see myself and my brother, obviously, happy. And if she sees that we have something that makes us happy or gives us purpose in life, she wants to be a part of it. And she knows that she is my guardian angel, my lucky charm. So she knows that by her being there, I'm able to feel comfortable or be more confident, because I know if I look into the crowd, if I see her, that's it, I've got it. And she's been there through karate competitions, fitness competition. I mean, you've done competitions, you've seen my mom. I think you know my mom just as well as I do, that she's always there. So yes, the relationship that we have is just, I'm incredibly blessed.
Yeah. And that's also, as you were saying, how your mom was that caring person that was obviously looking after you, looking after your brother, looking after your family, and helping you and helping your journey with whatever you did. And you say, like, that's what you want to do with yourself and with your coaching and with, helping other people with their health journeys, and just being, a figure that they can look up to, that they can find motivation in, and they can, you're just that helping, that also you're the guardian angel for all your clients.
Yeah, I also just, my love and support and pride for someone is unconditional. Whether you're having a great day, bad day, average day, I'm still on your side. I'm still proud. And the way that both my parents made us feel, where you don't have to always be the best at absolutely everything that you're doing or get 100% in your day. We're still going to love you unconditionally, and if you fall, we're there to support you and figure out how to get yourself back up. And that's what I've put back into my business and my people, because I don't want them to feel like I'm only going to be proud of them if they are getting the results, attacking all their workouts, making sure they're training every single day, eating all their meals. That's not what it is. I want them to feel so happy within themselves and empowered to actually go for whatever it is that makes them happy, regardless of the kind of day or efforts that they think that they may have experienced.
Yeah, it's a realistic way of helping people, because it's not realistic to always be perfect and to always, even the best of the best, you've had days where you can't diet. I've had days where we can't diet. I mean, it happens almost more often than we'd like. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. So, that's what people need to understand, is it's okay to be imperfect. Yes. It's just about kind of accepting your imperfections and almost using them to teach you lessons and to help you be better.
100%, and not using them as an excuse to just throw in the towel, because that's actually what will prevent you from getting to the top, is just giving up just because you made a mistake.
Yeah,
big deal.
Yeah, mistakes aren't the end of the line. The end of the line or the end of the road is when you give up and when you throw in the towel because of a bunch of mistakes that you've just allowed yourself to make. you make a few mistakes, great, learn from it.
You can always redeem yourself, 100%.
Yeah. So Minions, how did that come about? Obviously, you like the movie, The Minions, Despicable Me. How did you, build the brand around that?
I've always loved Minions, yes. I was that high school girl with a Minion backpack, Minion pencil case, but I didn't ever think that it would connect to my business at all. And yes, it was obvious that I liked Minions while I had started my business, but I hadn't officially said Monique Fit Minions. And with my program, yes, it's 99% online. I reached a point where the girls really wanted to connect with me on a personal level, and so did I. So I decided, okay, with every program that I release, I'm going to host boot camp just to meet and greet so the girls can get to know each other. I can get to personally see them. And I remember it was my first boot camp. I had asked at Planet Fitness if I could use their space at that time. And we couldn't use the hall because too many girls had showed up. And by too many at that time, it was about 35. But that was a lot. And we were busy doing burpees most probably, and the one girl said, "Go Monique Fit Minions," and I was like, wait, what? I like that, and it just stuck. So it wasn't me that brought it into the whole dynamics. It was an actual minion, and I think that's what makes it so special. That person knew what I liked and connected that little playfulness, happy little minion creature to me, and I thought that was the biggest compliment because they do bring joy, and I felt like, okay, I bring joy, and it just stuck. Monique Fit Minions stayed.
Yeah, and I think that's what running a successful business is. It's kind of, you're adapting with the times, you're adapting with changes that go on, and it's also, you see what works and what doesn't work. And if you just look at, let's say, YouTubers, they all have, almost like a cult following, where it's, they all have people that they refer their followers as a particular group, which is yours obviously as Minions. And it's a clever marketing strategy because,
I didn't know it was a marketing strategy until someone pointed it out. Like every time someone sees a Minions, they think of you, and no matter where they are in the world. And I was like, whoa, that's cool.
And you happened upon it, and it was, almost an amazing, not mistake, but it was something that you experienced and something that someone else brought into your eyes and into your life. And then you're like, wow, this is actually, it's not a clever concept to make more money. It's a clever concept to create more of a community.
Yes, 100%. And also like the title that it comes with, where being a Monique Fit Minion is someone that is unstoppable, confident, brave, able to make mistakes and learn from them, and happy and silly and not losing sight, because that's also a very important message that I always try and give my clients and the people that happen to follow me on Instagram is, yes, be serious about life and the things that you want and set those high standards for yourself, but try not to take things too seriously. Keep that silliness a part of you, and I learned that from my dad. I don't mention my dad a lot, but he's the clown of the family, and he's also such a serious person and goal-driven and such a hard worker. But when it comes to back home, relaxed, he is the clown, always making everyone happy, smiley. So I think that is also transition into the whole Minion thing and making sure that you're serious, but also have fun.
Yeah. I think it's amazing how you've created a lifestyle brand. It's something that people want to be a part of. And I think it's phenomenal how many people... And I mean, it's not just girls. It's boyfriends of girls.
Oh, yeah, the Manions. Yeah. Can't forget about them.
So is that what they're called?
They're Manions. Okay. Also, they thought of it. Not me, but I'm going to roll with it. It's really cool. Yeah.
And it's amazing how many people, are proud. And I think that's the biggest thing about your brand is how proud they are to be a part of it. I mean, they're paying you, but they're proud. I think that just shows how much of a quality of a product that you offer, because they spending...
I didn't do that alone, though. It's these
course.
People that call themselves Minions that helped me create this community that people want to be a part of. And I think that also motivates me even more to bring more light and magic to it. So I love that you have identified that these people are proud to call themselves Monique Fit Minions, because when I do see that, it just really makes my day, my week, my year, and it just reminds me of, something so small became something that is such a huge part of people's lives.
And how, you started off with that first little boot camp there was 35 people. How have you grown? What's the most amount of people you've had at your boot camp where it's just you and you, like, because of it, that fit function, I assume there was other
I was just a
promoters and
guest.
stuff.
Yeah, I was just a guest to that one. But the actual Monique Fit ones, I mean, it differs. With COVID happening now, it's been a little bit hard because I've actually had to turn people away. But the most amount of people that I've had at a boot camp has been close to 200. But that's also because it's only people that are within my current program and the Monique Fit challenges. And it's also only the people that are nearby that can join. So Monique Fit is kind of international, mainly national, because I just really like to connect with the people. So the people that are at the boot camp are the people that happen to be nearby. So they're not really Cape Town or Durban or that based. Although I've had people flown to join, which is really special.
Other coaches need to hear what you just said. You said 200 people in basically the immediate area. So if it was easier, more people would be there. I just want other people to understand that, you know, the quantity of people that you are helping. Because, I mean, there's no other coach, actually, I'm going to be honest, in South Africa, that handles and changes the amount of lives that you are changing.
Thank you.
Because, I mean, 200 people, Monique, I don't think you actually understand the quantity that is. Obviously you do, but also I think being there, being, you know, in it yourself, it's difficult to actually fathom, you know, the impact that you truly do have.
Thank you. But like we discussed before the cameras and the microphones came on, I truly am in love with what I do and the impact that what little time I give to each individual can impact their life in a tremendous way, where they can go from, this is just an example, and when I mention a little bit about her, she will know who she is. Someone that was a little bit average at school, and after being a part of my program went to being the best top student at the end of matric, and that was just because of the impact that I had on her, and she wanted to just excel, and her parents and myself have had a conversation of how just her being a part of this has completely changed her outlook on life and her drive to just want to be her best at everything that she does, not necessarily just health and fitness. And that was the first time that I really just looked at, wow, how can little old me have that power to actually help someone realize in themselves that they are capable and worthy of so much more than what they originally were aiming for.
Well, there's another thing that you just said. You spoke to one of your clients' parents. There's not many coaches that deal with...
Okay, that doesn't happen with every
No,
single
of
one.
course. But
yes,
I mean,
yes.
Most people say, you know, they've dealt with what the person, the immediate person. They haven't dealt with other people. They haven't had that much of an impact on someone's life that they have family members contacting them saying, you know, this is what you've done. This is how you've helped our daughter. This is how much you've given her. You know, what more can we do? That's also something that other people as coaches, they just, you know, they give a diet plan, they give a training plan. They kind of say, okay, cool, let's check in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And they leave them to their own devices. And obviously, I mean, everyone's seen in your story, like you'll be doing cardio or whatever, you'll take out your Minion phone. And then I don't know if you call it that, but...
I do call it that, actually.
It just came, it was the first thing that came to me, so obviously I've seen it before. So yeah, you know, doing that while you're doing cardio, while you're focusing on basically yourself, you are still out there providing value for others.
Yeah, so that also just came in because of competing, where, you know, we have to do those hours of cardios, and to distract myself, I thought, okay, this is a perfect time to start getting back to clients. So during that specific time, I wouldn't say that it's my time and I'm giving my time to other people. It's just I've strategized my day like that. Yeah, so cardio also, because my job involves me sitting at a desk the entire day. So I like starting my day with that movement just to get your steps in. And what better way when those kind of endorphins are filling in, you're feeling a little bit strong and focused on the first batch of minions that you're just going to answer to in the morning. So that's just a way of getting my day started or getting me up there, because it's become a mindless activity because of routine and habit. But I do go back to the gym later on in the day where it's focused purely on me, because that's also important.
Yeah, no, of course. And you say with competing and doing cardio, when last did you compete?
Too long ago. I think last year I actually wanted to go internationally, but circumstances changed. But I think the last time I competed was the year before last.
And is it something you'd look at doing again?
I definitely want to step on stage another once or twice, just because my partner at the moment, he hasn't experienced me in that light. He hasn't seen what I'm like and what I'm able to do. So I just really want to show that part, because I feel like it was a huge part of who I am that I would like him to see. And I had these big goals, and I feel like I still want to go out there and just try at least achieve them. Yeah.
And before you were talking about how you want to expand your business. You want to not just look at it as helping people, because if you expand your business, you can help more. Whereas you don't want to just deal with everyone. You want to be able, let's say, not have someone that deals with other people, but let's say someone that helps you manage your time, or manage emails, or just manage things so that you can focus on what truly matters within the business. So how would you want to almost grow your business, or what would you do to help grow your business? Because you are Monique Fit, you are basically the brand. I think a lot of people would find it difficult to deal with someone else. And obviously you need someone who is...
I'm finding it difficult. Yeah. It's separation anxiety. Like I said, I am so invested in these people, and a lot of people have been around since the first programs that I released. And I guess it's issues within myself that I need to figure out is, what am I going to do to be able to expand? Because yes, I want to, but I physically cannot, because I'm struggling to let go of that real personal connection to the minions. And I think what I've started doing now is I've started opening myself up to workouts only, where the people can get a kind of taste of what I'm about, but not that one-on-one interaction. And that's already tough, because I feel like I'm still responsible to get to know those people, but also understanding that you have to invest all your time in the people that have invested into you for more attention, if that makes sense, and guidance. So it really is tough. I haven't given up on figuring that out. I know I will, but I just really I'm enjoying what I'm doing so much now that it's so tough to put myself in a comfort zone that's going to take me away from what my life looks like at the moment.
And that personal connection is exactly what, and I'll be honest, I've had clients before where they've come to you, and then they came to me once, and they said, "Hi Jesse, to be honest, this isn't what we expected. When we were with Monique, we got a nice welcome message, we got all of these things, and I mean, from you, I've learned certain things. I've learned, some people that I help just want a diet and a training plan and
100%,
to be left on their own
yes.
devices. Some people, want the same, but they at least want maybe, to be able to message you once a week, twice a week, often, whatever. Some people would rather you hold their hand throughout the process. Some people would rather, they would rather have a welcome message. Some people would want 3 pages of welcome messages. Some people don't. And that's also, as a trainer, you've obviously also had to learn, some people, no matter how much you give them, it still isn't enough.
Yes,
and you kind of come to a point where you, as Monique, can't give people everything.
No, 100%. And I'm glad you also pointed that out, because you cannot compare you to me, because you said everyone has different needs, different wants, different expectations from trainers. And I've also had people come up to me and I'm not what they expected. And it is a tough swallow to accept, but that's okay though. Those people aren't important to you in the sense of what you are trying to achieve in life. So you can't be everyone's cup of tea, and you can't always be there personally for everyone, but people must also be realistic and understanding that if they sign up for what you have, they must just see it through and be honest with you with what they had expected, and also communicate their feelings towards you, as opposed to just saying, nah, this is not for me.
Well, I mean, I've had people, as I was saying, that, her and her boyfriend came to me and she said she'd previously been with you. She's like, I didn't get a welcome message. And that's the only thing she never got, was like 1 page saying, hi, welcome to Jesterfit, whatever, thank you for signing up. Like, that's all she wanted, and I never had that. And like, there was still all enough detail in the plan, but, I just never had that, and she literally wanted a refund because of that. Then there's people who, I'll put all the effort in the world. I'll literally go to the shops and take a photo of every single meal that goes into their plan. I'll send it to her. She's like, hi, Jesse, can you rather send this as an Excel spreadsheet? There's certain people that, no
Wow,
matter how much effort.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. And I totally get that. And there are some minions that are like that, but you also have to have self-respect where you have to draw the line somewhere. That line is a bit blurred for myself as well, where I'll still go that extra mile. But when it's someone who actually puts that into good use and really make the effort to change their habits and lifestyle, then I don't mind. I don't mind going that extra mile, like you just said, going to the shops. I mean, I've never done that. I Google it on Google and I send them a screenshot. But so that's very admirable. But yes, if it's someone that is always searching for that answer that we happen to be keeping from them, that secret to getting the best results as fast as possible, because I assume we're all keeping that secret from them.
I'm keeping mine.
There's always that person. And those people, I'm at that stage of my life that I do not give up on them, but I do stand back and I rather focus on those people that are really doing the most with the energy and time that I'm investing in them.
And I think it's difficult as someone, because I can definitely tell you just as much as I hate conflict. And if someone comes to you unhappy, it's not just, well, sorry, this is the T's and C's, you deal with it. It's kind of, okay, what can I do to make it better?
Yes.
And, as you've grown, you kind of come to a point where, you've had to deal with people and you kind of understand people at a greater level to understand that person's just actually trying to take advantage of me. And, I kind of have to put my foot down. I have to, give the facts, at least provide the information saying, like, look, this is what was in the buyer form, whatever. This is what it says you were going to get. These were the deliverables. Unfortunately, it is what it is. You paid for it, and you kind of just have to try it. Because I think that's the biggest thing is people, they try one day, then they realize it's not what they wanted.
Yes.
And that's where, the discipline needs to come in. Obviously, you just as much as I, we like the holistic lifestyle approach about it.
Yes,
but
definitely.
at the end of the day, there's a finite list of healthy foods. If you're giving people 5 options per meal, you can't invent another source of protein or another source of carbs to help these people. So, people also need to be realistic with their expectations from you.
No, 100%. I do get that. But I also see it in you. You still try and make that person happy. You still try and deliver what they essentially want or need, because, they signed up for you. So you do want to be more, match their expectations or exceed them, if that makes sense. But there are sometimes, it doesn't happen often, thank goodness. But the odd time that it does, it is like a little shot to the heart or a little heartbreaking. I do cry to my mom about it, but then she just reminds me, you are doing your absolute best, and the people that see it are the people that actually matter. And again, going back to that point, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm probably too much for some people, and that's okay. I want the people that are drawn to me. Your vibe attracts the tribe. I'm going to keep being my vibe because that's the tribe that I want around me. And the more and more I am myself, the more I see that those are the people that I'm attracting. And the rotten apples are so scarce now, which is really cool.
But also, you being who you are and being true to yourself has made you so successful, because who you are attracts people that you want to attract, and has created the minions. So you being Monique and being who encompassing everything that you are and putting it into your brand has made you successful. And I think that's a lot of people, what they need to learn is there's going to be people that say, maybe don't do this, maybe don't do that, maybe try to do this. But that's also, I was actually chatting to Jenadine about it. It was intuition. Being a business person is intuition. You never created Minions to be a marketing strategy. You created Minions because it was something that you wanted people to embody, and they did embody. So it was, you intuitively felt like this is something that's cool. And by chance, it happened to obviously be successful.
Yeah, but I don't know what you mean by success. If you mean successful that I love what I do and it's making a difference in the world, then yes, I'm successful. But
you see, I'm talking about in the business mind, which is obviously not meaning that you are just taking people's money.
Yes, okay.
I'm saying that obviously success, by building up a success, is being able to help many people. Being 100%. Able, yes, obviously money comes with that, but making a success of what you've done. If you can have 200 people in one area coming to work out with you, that is success. If you can have 35 people, Monique, that is a success.
100%,
You know, there's tons of
you.
people that they're these online coaches, they preach all these certain things, but then at the end of the day, they're not true to themselves. They try to put on a fake facade on social media. They can't make their rent at the end of the month. You have to stay true to yourself. And because of being true to yourself, you just happen to obviously make more money because of being who you are, you know, and you being who you are and having, you know, as I was saying, everything with intuition, you intuitively built up a brand because you were following a lifestyle that you wanted to, you know, you wanted to create a lifestyle for yourself, and other people saw your lifestyle. And I mean, as you said, as it started was you getting messages from people, just helping people out, and you grew it from that because you saw, okay, well, maybe actually I can help a lot of people. I can be a big impact for other people.
It wasn't fun. It was fun.
Exactly. It wasn't, okay, cool, I've got some people messaging me, let me make a lot of money off them. It was obviously, you know, you need to be paid for your time. That's why you've made money.
My mom made that very clear, because if it wasn't up to her, I'd still be doing it for free. Yeah,
and
out of love.
Exactly. And unfortunately, I mean, you need to pay the bills at the end of the day, and you've used something that you are talented at, that you are passionate about, and that has helped you. And that's also, I mean, as the saying goes, if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. And obviously a lot of what you do is physically work, and there are days where you're like, I've worked obviously every day, but I've worked really hard today. I'm tired. I feel defeated because I had a lot of work to do. But, you know, wake up the next morning, you're motivated again because you're doing what you love.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
And how have you tried to, you know, you have to do what you want to do every day. And doing what you want to do is obviously helping other people, growing other people, creating value for them. How have you used, you know, in terms of being able to reach more people, have you found it's maybe just word of mouth along with social media? Have you found, because obviously a ton of people I've spoken to in person say like, we're with Monique, this is what they love, blah, 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 and they spoke about you in person. Do you find a lot of people hear about you? Obviously, because of social media, you've got a good following, but you mean, where do most of the people hear about you, do you think?
I am very grateful for the Minions. I think word of mouth has been the biggest part of my growth, because a lot of the times it will be, my sister was doing your previous challenge, now the two of us are doing it, or it would be, my aunt in America is doing your challenge, I'm in South Africa now, I'm also doing it. So I definitely think it's word of mouth, and I think they enjoy the experience so much, or maybe the people around them love seeing the change in them, not just physically, I think mindset wise and just vibe, personality wise, they more themselves, and I think they enjoy that and they want to be a part of that. But maybe my social media, I'm not too sure. I don't really spend much time, I'm sure you've noticed, marketing my program. I barely share transformation photos because I don't do that as often, because I'm mindful as to who's going to see that photo, and I dislike making someone feel discouraged about their journey. So a lot of the times I don't share things, but other times I do, because I also want that minion to feel proud that I'm proud to share. And I also want my girls to know that I'm invested in their journey. It doesn't matter what transformation you bring to the table. It's more about your mental wellness and your physical health and all of that. That's way more important to me than anything else. Nowhere in my program or my marketing, if I have any, do I say, you're going to achieve the best results in 4 weeks. No, it's an experience where I'm going to educate you and empower you. And you need to be patient with that, because sustainability in the things that you do is more important than getting the best, tightest body in the short amount of time.
Or any change, physical, whatever, starts mental. It's getting your mind right, and it's getting, you know, your head around something, and having more positivity, having more discipline, having more, you know, ambition. It starts with your mind. Then obviously you can make more informed decisions and more healthier decisions. But I think in terms of how people hear about you, and obviously it's predominantly word of mouth, I think that stays true to who you are as a brand, because people hearing about you from each other shows that you have had an impact on them. If people heard about you on social media, that's just because you can sponsor ads, or you can post a lot about it and people hear about you. The more you bombard people on social media, the more they'll hear about you. However, you can't force some of a minion that you helped a year ago to go tell their family or friends.
Yes.
So I think that stays and shows the impact that you have is your easiest tool is the people that you're helping.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, also internally, we have little fun tasks that we get to do and share videos and photos if you feel comfortable, and that's never a compulsory aspect of the challenge. But we do have internal fun little things that we get to do, and I think them feeling proud and confident to share that on their social media also does help. But yeah, I'm really, really proud that I don't have to punt my own brand, my own minions do that, and I'm really grateful for it. It's also very, very nice to see that families are joining. I mean, you see the registration forms and there's 5 same surnames, and that to me is a sign of success. It's like, oh mom, the whole family's there. And a new aspect of my program is live workouts, and I offer that on Zoom and our private Instagram page. And it's so nice to see the whole family on the other side of the screen, the mom, the dad, and they all doing what, maybe the wife just signed up for, the daughter, and then later on it's the mom, the daughter, the sister, the cousin. That I really, really love, because then the whole family, it shows that they influence in their family, which means their success within their health and fitness is more likely because that influence has gone into their family and they all like-minded now in that aspect.
Monique,
and family is so important to me. So if I see families, I'm drawn to them because I like that they connected, because I feel like that's really important for a happy life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking about actually before is, the importance of work life, work relationship, work fun balance, and family. I mean, you were inspired by your dad, you're inspired by your mom, you're inspired by your brother. Everybody within your family has helped you to who you are today. Were there maybe any other role models in your life, maybe your karate coach or...
It's really, really tough to pinpoint a specific person because right now it's not the same person anymore. But when I was doing karate, yes, it was my coach. Just the way that he moved and the way that he carried himself in a room and the way that he made winning seem so effortless. And he was a world champion as well. And it was just so cool that I moved similar to him because I aspired to be like him. And it was also so awesome that no matter how successful he was such a cool human being and so nice to everyone around him. So yes, I do think that he's also impacted on the way that I am, but I'm not going to lie, my family, the 4 people underneath my roof, are the main driving factors behind who Monique Fit is and who Monique Lopes is.
In closing, I want to do Fun 5. So
Fun 5, okay,
Fun
now
5.
I'm nervous again.
I need to try to remember the questions. I started this with Jenny Dean last week. So
okay, cool.
5 questions. 5.
All right.
I'm going to make them up on the spot. I think I'm going to change them, but that's fine.
Okay.
So if you had to be one superhero, who would it be?
Can I be a minion?
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, you may. So any fictitious character, any fictitious thing of any sort, book, movie, whatever.
I think I would definitely be a minion. Stick to my grounds, make everyone happy and work hard.
Okay, perfect. And the other one was your favorite food. Can be anything, unhealthy, healthy, something that, if last meal on this earth that you could have.
That's tough because at the moment I'm obsessed with prawn curry for some odd reason. So it will probably be prawn curry, but I do love pizza.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot. That's the thing as a health and fitness coach, people just assume you don't like nice food.
Oh, no, I do.
Which is,
and I mean... But balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You need to enjoy good food because, I mean, especially community-wise, the amount of bonding that you actually experience over good food with people.
100%. And you learn that over time.
Yeah.
When you're young and first starting out, you don't need those foods. And yes, you do.
That's also why I think I initially took a step back from competing, was because I did it the unhealthy route where every food was seen as bad, everything was seen as, that's not part of my plan, let me stick to my plan only. But
I think we all go through that.
Yeah,
and the amazing part is you have to go through it to understand that you don't need to live that way. And you have to be your own proof that you don't need to live that way. I think it's awesome that it's terrible that you felt that way and that I felt that way, but it's amazing that you are better equipped to also help people that may be going through that. Because like, I'm proof. I mean, I did that. I was also restrictive, completely restrictive, stayed away from carbs and learned that, no, that's not the way to live at all.
And you do need to go through it. And it's the only way to learn is to, you know, make the mistakes going along the way. So I'm trying to think of a third question here, but, you know, the person that you feel has had the biggest impact in your life, obviously it's difficult to pinpoint that one person.
My mom.
Your mom?
Mom. Monique Lopes, definitely.
Okay. And now I'm trying to think, that's 3, right?
3, yes, 2 more.
Okay, your favorite Instagram page to follow on social media? It can be travel, could be art, I don't know, anything.
This is a hard one, and I'm going to sound really self-absorbed, but I try not be on Instagram to consume or be a consumer. I try to be on Instagram to give out information, motivation, whatever the case may be, and also make sure that I view my Minion stories.
Yeah.
So the majority of the time that I'm there is responding to people that have shown me love and support. So that's a tough one.
Okay.
So my favorite Instagram page, all the Minions Instagram pages.
Okay,
I love
fair
them.
enough.
Yeah.
So then, might as well be the final question is, obviously, let's say you try not to be absorbed by social media, but what do you do to relax? Or what do you to try unwind? Is it series, Netflix? What is it?
Lately, it is series on Netflix. Before that, it was really tough. It was really hard to actually make myself understand that I need to unwind. But if it's not watching mindless series on Netflix, or it always has to be lighthearted, happy. I don't like the serious kind of things. Or just spending time with my mum or my family in general. I just like escaping with my dog.
Yeah. You do got dogs, so you're obviously an animal lover.
I do love dogs, yes.
And I think that's also another indication of the type of person people are, is animals in general. You know, if you walk into a room, let's say someone walks into my house now and they look at my dogs and then they try to push them away. You know, kind of instinctively, I'm like, maybe this person shouldn't. I don't know if I like this person anymore, you know. And it's interesting because animals, just as minions, are innocent and, you know, they're full of joy. I mean, if you look at a dog, no matter what you do to a dog, no matter how upset you are for eating the cushion, you know, that dog is going to love you no matter how much you shout at it 1 second later.
Yes, and it's funny you mention that because my happiness is also... I'm inspired by my dog. Her pure joy. When she sees me, I'm just one human that was gone for just 2 hours, but they're so happy that you came back. That inspires me a lot, and especially on the days where they probably weren't so great, and you just come home to that. I mean, my dogs actually stay with my parents. They don't stay with me because I stay in an apartment. And there's been plenty of times where I've just gotten in my car, drove to my parents' house just so that I can just see that excitement from the dogs. They go crazy. I'm not even in the complex, they can hear my car and they're already going crazy. And that's inspiring, that happiness, how that can also influence how the person receiving that happiness feels. So I like to be that happiness that you potentially will receive and just change your whole day, if that makes sense.
Well, I think that's, you know, the innocence of a minion, the innocence of a dog is how we need to live our lives. You know, you can't be jaded, you can't be closed off. My dog will greet anything on earth. You know, it doesn't matter if it's from the plumber to my best friend, you know, that person is their new best friend. And I think that's how you need to kind of, obviously within reason, but that's how you need to live your life is, you know, what happiness can I get from this person? Maybe you realize you're not going to get any happiness and you move on. But I think that's what you need to do, and that's what you've done with Minions is maybe some of them, you know, 1 or 2 don't find happiness in you, don't find the motivation that they seek, but there are countless others who are going to.
Yeah, it's like we go back onto the topic, you're not everyone's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that because you want people that already enjoy you and love who you are. You don't want to change things just to make that odd person that doesn't like you, because it's okay. They enjoy something else. Let them have that. You focus on what you're doing, and that's a very important thing that I keep reminding myself if I do encounter someone that's not really a fan of my work or how I do things. It's okay. I'm not focused on you. I'm focused on the people that want to benefit and want to be a part of what I've created.
Yeah. Well, Monique, next boot camp, I'm there. Next time you're at... we have to think of the name of that place. That church in
Hartford
Arena. Yes, Hartford Arena.
Is that a church?
Yes, I believe so.
I didn't know it was a church.
I think it's a church.
It's a fun church.
I could be
then, if all
completely
these cool
wrong.
things happen there. Yes.
I think it's because it's such a big venue.
Yeah.
Well, Monique, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
I look forward to seeing you at the next boot camp.
Of course, I'm going to be there. And I see everyone in a lot of colors, so I know I need a color
and you have to wear
socks.
scrunchy. You have to wear
That's fine. I'm growing my hair out anyway, just for that purpose.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Cheers.